right. We're 11-7-1, right? 11-7-2, 10-7-2. No, we had 4.
No, that's 19.
We were 7-7-1, so we should be 11-7-2.
Right.
Yeah.
11-7-1 in Broncos.
Yes. There we go. It's Friday, October 6th. I'm Geoff Schwartz. This is Geoff Schwartz. This morning, you were live on Twitter, YouTube, and on your favorite podcast platform of choice. Please give us a rating, subscribe, tell your friends and family. We love getting as many people as possible to listen to the Friday edition of our podcast. We cover gambling, we cover props, cover everything to do with the National Football League on Sunday and on Monday of this week. We're brought to you by the VLTED app, the home of my season-long game, giving out $14,000 of cash prizes and my pools with $5,000 allocated to my final pool of the season, which will be the day of the big game. That's VLTED, spelled VLTED. It's a place you can store your sports predictions, participate in catch prize pools without any entry fees, and prove you're smarter than your friends and myself by using the VLTED Challenge feature. Download VLTED. It's spelled it's spelled VLTED. My name is Geoff. Use that code GEOFF so you can see my predictions and play along. I have my pool each week on VLTED. You enter 20 questions. We'll cover some of those questions later in the podcast. There's no entry fees required to participate. The winner gets $400. Second place gets $75. Third place gets $25. Again, no entry fees. You qualify. My big game pool is to beat me in one of the regular season pools. I'll also be using the app, and I've been doing this to store my other picks I like, whether the NFL or in college football. Again, at the end of the show, we'll talk about the VLTED pool predictions we like for this week. I actually finished third place last week, Matt. Did you know that? I've been really bad. I finished
Very
third
good.
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
It was a good week for us.
But it was a great week for us. On the gambling front, guys, we went 4-0 in Broncos. So the joke we had last week was, I picked the Broncos to cover. It was 3 points at the time of recording. I went off at 3.5, I think, at the time of recording when we recorded this podcast late Thursday night last week instead of Friday. And I had the Broncos -3. They were down 28-7, and they came all the way back to win by 3. So we pushed. So from now on, our record will indicate that. We are now 11-7-1 and Broncos. So we are really 11-7-2. Matt, we're doing well. It's the best we've ever started in any given year.
It's very good. The Broncos, we had probably the best text exchange we've ever had regarding the Broncos, where you immediately, like 2 minutes into the game, were doing the I can't believe we did this. I have so many regrets. And then, the Bears folded. They didn't do that with my Commanders last night, but the Russell Wilson-led Broncos came all the way back to get us the most dissatisfying push of all time.
Oh, of course.
I would have rather lost, because then I could have at least, we could have learned. Instead, we didn't learn. We didn't succeed. Nothing happened. We might as well have just not picked that game. It was incredible.
Did your Commanders know they were supposed to play a game last night? Were they aware of that fact, or they just showed up to a practice event or something?
I think it's one of, in a litany of embarrassing moments for this team. It's less embarrassing than a lot of them. But I just want to say, like, how do you, how do these coaches have a job today? Like, it's so obvious that it's a leadership problem, right? Like, no one held anyone accountable. They have a young quarterback. They have this defense of like these highly paid guys who don't perform, and this offense that's just kind of up and down. And like, it just feels to me that there's nobody in that entire building who commands any respect from anyone. And I think that I think Ron Rivera, we had a good text last night. It's like he's made the playoffs, I think, 3 times with a losing record or a 500 record or something like that.
I think it's happened. Like, I think that the text was it's only 3 teams have made the playoffs with a losing record in the last so many years, and Rivera's coached 2 of them.
Yeah, and it's he's had like a really unusual career, and I think whatever. We don't need to talk about the Commanders much, but I found it to be a stunning lack of accountability that they don't show up for a game like that.
Well, at least they get the field goal down 16 there, which made their chances less likely
after
to win.
Not going for 2 last week, where they could have just gone for 2 and won, or lost, and it would have been fine.
It's crazy. I don't get it, but nonetheless, we don't talk about the Commanders anymore. Let's talk about the first game of the week. It is the game in London. I will say one thing too. Last week, our vaulted pool closed right at the London game, right? And I emailed them. I was like, can we keep it open? Because I feel like a lot of us kind of do our pool maybe later in the week. We change our predictions. So we're not going to include the London game in the pool this week. So we will have all the way up until that 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff time to adjust your pool predictions and get more people involved in the vaulted app. So I'm glad we made that change. They did a good job with the feedback there. But let's get to the first game here. I don't like London games typically to wager on, Matt, but I feel like I do have an idea on this one.
Yeah, interesting. So it's Buffalo's favored by 5.5. Obviously, the Jags have been in London since last week. I ended up on Sunday sprinkling a little bit on Jacksonville last week, mostly as an Atlanta fade. That looked good. But yeah, I'm curious if you have a side here.
I feel like this is a lot of points for a Jaguars team that's not bad. They just haven't sort of clicked on offense quite yet. Like they're close, Matt. They're close. They're just not 100% there on offense. And you get Buffalo off this huge win. They've scored a ton of points the last 3 weeks. They're going to London. I don't buy the idea that you should take Jacksonville because they're already in London. Like, whatever. The flight from Buffalo to London is not enough to where I feel like there's not big of a difference in this game. If it was the Niners flying out there, maybe I feel differently. But Jacksonville is a quality team. They're probably going to win their division. I think we agree on that. They're a playoff team from last year. And if it clicks in this game, they're going to keep it close. We have not seen in a couple of weeks the YOLO game from Josh Allen. Maybe it happens this week. Overseas, national TV game, which it was last weekend, but it wasn't standalone game, right? It does feel like there's a little bit of that going to come back this weekend. It's just a good feeling of mine. There's no actual analysis here for that, why that would happen. All the money's on Buffalo. Everyone loves Buffalo this week. I'm okay with Jacksonville.
Interesting. Yeah, this feels like one of those Vegas lines where they're trying to tell you something. Like Buffalo's won 3 games. They won 2 games by 28, and they beat my Commanders by 34. Like, this is a
and
definite.
The Raiders by
this
the Raiders by 28 too, right? 28 too.
Yeah, 28, 34, and 28. Like, this should be a like buy high spot for Buffalo, but they're only favored by 5.5 over a Jacksonville team that hasn't looked good yet this entire season. So I do feel like this is a little bit of a hey, heads up kind of game. That Jacksonville would probably be the right side. This is also like, if Vegas puts this line at 5.5, then this is like the teaser game that kills everyone, right? Like this is going to be like, this could be that game, but Jacksonville just hasn't shown it yet. And I would consider it just because but the number's 5.5. Like it's I don't know. It's a tough one. But I'm fine with it as like a light maybe.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
The team that flew back from London last week, the Falcons, they're hosting the Texans. And you either have an opinion on this game or we're not discussing it because it's kind of a gross one. But the Falcons are favored by 1.5 at home now. All the bets and money are on CJ Stroud and the Texans.
I mean, the Texans are better, right? Like they're playing better at quarterback. I think they're getting healthier on their offensive line. They're playing better football. They're a better football team. the question is going on the road make that much of a difference in Atlanta? I mean, to me, Texans +2 would be awesome. I know everyone else is on it as well, but the smart people I know are on this as well, which is important, right? Like Houston's playing good football, Matt. Like they're playing well, and so I know it's probably a trendy dog and whatnot. I hate betting on Falcons games because it's just you never win. It's just the worst thing of all time to do. But I think I'm okay with taking the Texans here. They're just better.
Yeah, I think I am too. There's two main reasons. The first is like the Texans offense isn't just like good for having a rookie quarterback, it's like legitimately good. They haven't gotten a ton out of Pierce yet, and they still are like in the top 10 in like all of the metrics that the smart people say matter. But the other part of this that's interesting is the Falcons coming back from London. This has happened only a few times where the team has not taken their bye, and in every situation, the team that's coming back from London has either trailed or been tied in the fourth quarter. So it seems like if Houston were to get out to a good start,
Yeah,
which they probably will, how does Atlanta come back? They can't
yeah,
throw. Like I feel like this could be like the last Ritter game. So it's possible that CJ Stroud just like lays an egg. He's going to at some point, but I don't mind this. I think the better team is catching points.
It's interesting. So the Texans are 11th in DVOA. They're 5th in special teams, which means they're just well coached. The Falcons are 27 in DVOA, which it's a big difference, man. It's a big difference.
Yeah, it really is. By the way, it's time for them to just trade Kyle Pitts. Like it's just time. They need to trade him to another team like this week. Like what are they doing? They're just wasting this offensive talent on these, and it could be the quarterback. And like maybe Heineke comes in and just like forces it like he did with McLaurin to Pitts in London, but like they gotta just like what the hell are they doing? This team, this like Arthur Smith thing, I think might just not work.
Well, buddy, I mean they're playing a quarterback who is not good. Like they've made their team around a quarterback who's not good. What do you expect? I know I'm just talking to anyone. Like that's an important part of this. They're playing a team that is just not. They're playing a quarterback that is just not good. It's that simple in the NFL. I feel like a lot of times. So let's go Houston +2. I think that we're in the strong yes here.
Yeah, I think let's. I'm good putting it on the list for now. All right, Panthers. Your Panthers at the Detroit Lions.
Ugh.
This is my survivor pick. The Detroit Lions.
Yep, same here.
Can't take the Panthers here until we see a little bit more out of them.
The Lions are also my survivor pick, so we're on the same boat there. I have nothing to say here. The Panthers aren't very good. This game could get super ugly, but I don't want to be anywhere with my money anywhere near this game.
Yeah, same. All right, good pass. Go Lions. Keep us going in survivor. Next on the list here, the Titans, road favorites. Last I saw at the Colts. Wow, it's up to 2.5. Oh my goodness. The Super Contest I think had this at 1 a day ago. Wow, interesting. Where are you here?
I'm not on Tennessee. Like Vrabel is a favorite on the road. I hard pass on that one, right?
Yeah.
They played 2 road games this year. They get to score a touchdown on the road this season. They lost 16-15 in week 1 and 27-3. I like the Colts getting 2.5 points here, right? On the at home. The Titans are they good? I mean, their DVOA is 22. Defensively, they're 12, which we know they're good on defense. They're 26th on offense. The Colts are pretty much an average team, 19, 18, 17. Oh man, I mean, Vrabel, road favorite. I'm glad we're taking a divisional home dog here and just living with it.
I'm out on the Colts in this spot. So my thinking, first of all, this is the team Tannehill's done the best against. He's 5-0 in his last 5 against the Colts. The Colts, I think, have been outgained in every single game they've played. The strength of the Titans is their run defense. I don't think that I liked Tennessee like as basically even or laying a point or so. I just don't buy this Colts team. I think they're, and clearly Vegas has agreed. This line opened with the Colts as a 1.5 point favorite. So I think it's a stay away with the 2.5. That's crazy that it's moved that much, but I'm definitely not on the Colts.
All right, we can skip it. It's not a big deal. I'll be fine not watching this game.
I talked you out of Titans Colts. Wow, the process really has worked.
Yeah,
I spared you after you had to watch that whole Broncos Bears game last week. I'm doing you a favor.
Thank you. Yes, you're doing the Lord's work. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're certainly welcome. Another game that we might not watch: the Dolphins hosting another one of your former teams, the Giants. The Dolphins are laying 12.5, and according to the Action Network, are still getting 96% of the money and 92% of the bets. That is astonishing. Can I be honest? I still don't hate the Dolphins in this spot.
I don't either. I don't either, man. I don't either. Like, what? So if the Dolphins were off a win in Buffalo, the number might be 13 or 14, I think, Matt. But they lost. They kind of got embarrassed. Now they're playing a Giants team. Like, what do the Giants bring to the table? I believe it's Friday right now. Like, Andrew Thomas is still not playing, I don't think. So what are they going to – they're out their center probably as well. How are they keeping this game close?
Not sure. Not sure how they're going to do it. It's also one of these 90-degree Sundays in October in Miami. There's all these stats about you don't take a team off of a huge primetime. You always want to take the team off of a huge primetime loss. Miami also was embarrassed, right? Like you said, this is the team Martindale blitzes the most. Who's the best quarterback against the blitz besides Mahomes? It's Tua. It's get the ball out fast. Just let these guys cook. The Super Contest line of 11, I actually took it. The 12.5 is a lot. But I still don't feel like it's crazy, and I feel like Well, there's
basically
just able to keep it close.
There's an 11.5 at FanDuel right now, better than 12.
Okay,
so I'm fine with.
I mean,
I'll put 11.5.
I'm fine thinking about it.
Yeah. God, the Giants are just. And this is a very public play. I get it, but
brutal one. I know.
I don't really.
Literally, everybody's on the same side here. That's scary.
I know. All right, I'm put it. Let's put it down in the maybes for now. I just don't know how the Giants keep it close. I just have no idea how they do it.
Yeah, Barkley, I think practiced this week. It looks like he might go, but
questionable.
Yeah, I mean. Does that help? I guess it keeps them on their offense on the field a little longer. I still think Miami might be the top 3 team in the league, and we might be on a buy low with them. All right, this is an ugly 1:00 slate, isn't it? The next one is Saints at the Patriots. This you can find a point on either side here. Bets are about split. Same with the money. I think we're gonna have to do it. I know.
Really?
Well, I think we're on the same side here, right? What side are you on?
New England.
So, go ahead. Make the case.
I mean, the case is that are they going to lose to the fucking injured Derek Carrs who can't do anything on offense? Like, are we really? Like, it's just. I guess it's just if they lose this game, that's the end of it, right? Like, this is the end of. It's the end of the Patriots as we know them, right, Matt? Like, this is it. If they lose this game to the Saints with beat up Derek Carr at home, that's it. Write them off. They're done. Their season's done. Everyone's clearing house. Like, we're done here, right? Like, this is what this game is for New England. Now, Judon's not playing. Gonzalez is not playing. Like, those are problems for their defense. I get that. But this is it. Like, this is it. This is it. If they don't win this game, that's it. They're done as any team we talk about the rest of the season. And Mac Jones is gone. Like, it ends right here in this game. They keep themselves alive at least a little bit, which I don't think they're very good. We were wrong about New England, I think, this year, Matt. It's just done. Like, this is it. If they don't win this game, that's it. We're wrapping it up. The season is done. And I just don't want to believe that New England, with that coaching staff, with the players on the team, is just going to wrap it up after this weekend.
I completely agree. And I think that's all the case you need to make. I mean, look, the Saints, they had that good, I guess, week 1 win against the Titans. I think we were on the wrong side of that. They
No,
sneak
no,
out that win against the
we had
Panthers.
Tennessee. We had Tennessee
Oh
plus the
yeah,
points. Or
plus
no,
3.
oh
Yeah,
no,
we covered that.
we might have not taken that one. That might have been one we did not do, but we liked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So the next couple weeks, they sneak by the Panthers. They blow a big lead to the Packers, and they get blown out by the Saints. Or I'm sorry, the Bucks. This is a dead team too. And Derek Carr, you mentioned, not looking like himself, not able to throw down the field. Kamara getting all those dump offs last week. Like, they are not right either. And like, who do you think's gonna, like? Do you think the Patriots are dead because they don't have their rookie corner? Like, why? Like, that's an insane take. So I just think that the Patriots have to win this.
Yep.
I think catching a point, you just have to make this bet and just cross your fingers.
Absolutely. I'm good. I'm fine to be in this spot to root against the Saints on Sunday.
It's an ugly spot, but let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. What do we got?
Speaking of ugly spots, Mike Tomlin is a home dog to his rival, Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens are laying 4.5 now. My God.
Okay.
I mean,
so I know that Nick and Vic are playing this game, are producers of like which wagers we're going to take. They're playing their own little game. And if they didn't have Pittsburgh on the wager list this week, they're not paying attention. Mike Tomlin is 13-6-2 against the spread as a home underdog in the regular season. 4 of the last 5 of these games have been within 3 points. It's just like what these games are, Matt. The under, by the way, has been hammered. Like, the under is a spot to be in as well. We don't take totals in this week. Just take Pittsburgh. Like, just make it simple. Can he pick it? No, can he pick it? I don't even care, Matt. It doesn't bother me. Like, put in Trubisky. Who cares? Baltimore and Pittsburgh play close football games, and you always back Mike Tomlin as a home underdog.
Yeah, the best in league history as an underdog. You mentioned the underdog in this series, 22-5-3. Wow. The underdog has covered 11 straight and is 15-1-1 since 2015. When the line is 3 or more, 21-3-3 in this series. Like, this is just how these games go. It's also the windiest game of the season so far. If the forecast holds up, so there's not gonna be a whole lot of downfield passing. Not that either offense is sort of built for that anyway. The way the Steelers win is they keep this game tight. They keep it on the ground. They're coming off of a really bad loss, which is another spot where Tomlin tends to overperform. So yeah. I think Baltimore too, by the way, like Baltimore, they have a 3-1 record, but like, who have they beaten, right? The Cincinnati win is their best win. Every other game, I'm pretty sure, that's been against a backup quarterback. So they haven't, and they had CJ Stroud in week 1. And yeah, they lost in overtime to the goddamn Colts. Nightmare. So yeah, I'm fine with Pittsburgh here. It's just one of those. It's an obvious, like, as soon as this line came out, I knew we were taking it. I love we're taking it. We're getting 4.5. Let's go. Okay.
All right. Let's move it along.
Nice. Going into the late window. What a game this is. The Bengals are laying 3 in Arizona to the feisty Cardinals. This is a really interesting game.
Okay. This line opened like 6.5. It's at 3 now, Matt.
Yep.
So we can't take Arizona. The numbers, it's a bad number for Arizona if you're taking it, right?
That's the number.
Unless you think they're going to win outright, but the same case I made for the Patriots, the same case I made for the Bengals here. If they lose this game, season's over. 1-5, I believe it's Arizona, and then it's another team next week they should beat, and then it's a bye. After the bye, it's like Bills, 49ers, at Ravens. If they don't win this game, I know we're not choosing winning and losing, but -3, I feel like, is within that margin of like they should win by 3 or more. That's it, Matt. Season is done. Season is over right now. The thing that's bothered the Bengals, obviously, is offense. It's Joe Burrow's calf. The Cardinals, according to Pro Football Focus, they're ranked 25th in their pass rush. So they're not really getting to the core. They're not affecting Joe Burrow the way that other teams who have played the Bengals can affect Joe Burrow. It's back against the wall for me. I like the Bengals. You know, I have a lot of respect for the Bengals as a Chiefs fan. I've watched them play for so many years now. They're not gonna go to Arizona and win this game by 3 or more, Matt. I feel like this is you gotta take the Bengals here, right?
I think I'm with you.
I mean, you don't have
I know
to.
our
I mean, just
no. It's funny. Our producer Nick is, I'm sure, laughing at this because yesterday in our office, Gabe was asked his favorite pick of the week, and he goes, "Cardinals. The Bengals are dead." And Nick texted me. He's like, "So my favorite pick of the week is the Bengals." And
oh
in
yeah,
that moment, I
yeah,
actually
yeah.
started trying it. If
Oh,
Gabe's on the other side, then we definitely like it. But I honestly did think about it as after that, and it's like, if we ever believe in Joe Burrow, this is the week, right? Like, this is
yeah.
the right team to go against.
Uh,
Jamar Chase had the "I'm always open" thing last week. It seems like every week that the receiver gets pissed off, the next week they explode. Like, it just kind of feels
yeah,
like this is the Jamar Chase week. So I'm fine sort of saying, hey, if we get burned by the Bengals here, lesson learned. But
yeah.
if they can't win this game, their season's over too. And the Cardinals have overperformed. I think they're getting a lot of respect here. Um, I think it will probably end somewhere between 3 and 6, and we'll be happy that we are on the side of the 3.
Does it change your mind that Raybon's in Arizona +3? Does it change your opinion of the game? I feel like
Ravon's
he's the
also on
one
the
guy.
Texans. He's also on. He was on another one that we liked. So
He's
yes, it's concerning.
yeah, it's concerning, right? Raybon on the other
Yeah, it
side of
is.
this. Chris Raybon works
Shout
for
out to
Action
our guy Chris
Network.
Ravon at the
He's
Action
like
Network.
the best NFL gambler that I know. He's fantastic. That's not like a professional per se, right? He's not like putting down $1 million a game. All right, we got 4 more games to go, I believe, and I think a couple of these we're going to skip. But go ahead.
Yeah. So Eagles Rams is an interesting one. The Rams, according to whatever number you get, I call them undefeated against the spread this year. They're home favorite or home dogs catching 4.5. Um, I think this is probably a stay away. This is a little bit of a
Yeah,
fishy line to me.
yeah. A lot of people are going to be the Rams, I think, plus the points here. Which the Rams, there's something about. I don't know how they're doing it. Put it like that, right? I don't know how. They're 2-2. They won against the Seahawks in week 1. They beat a Colts team in overtime with a rookie quarterback. But they covered against the Niners with that late kick against McVay, right? McVay kicked the ball late. They were down 10, and they covered in Cincinnati. They played close games, though, too. I'm just staying away, right? Like, the Eagles could just come out and beat the and the thing about the Eagles, I feel like at any moment, they could just be the Eagles again. And we saw in the second half of that Washington game, they were the Eagles again, right, Matt? And like when they're the Eagles again, they're rolling over the Rams.
Yes, and I think that's a very good possibility here. The Cooper Cup being back thing is interesting. It looks like he's going to play. The fact that this number just won't move, it's been just sitting here all week.
Yeah, it has.
It just feels like the Eagles are worse on the road. The Eagles are Jalen Hurts has never won in Pacific time. Like some of those weird stats. But this is just a stay away. There's something fishy about it, and I don't know. I don't feel like I can back the Rams here, even though I gotta say, Sean McVay, you gotta give him credit for getting them to this spot. It looks like they're probably a playoff team. I will refuse to bet the Jets Broncos game under any circumstance.
We could just skip it.
I will not allow it. You've taken us down a dangerous path before. I will not allow it this week. Thank God that you are already off of this. This one, though, I think we're gonna have a feisty conversation about the Chiefs and the Vikings. The Vikings are catching 3.5 at home. They are getting 61% of the money and 30% of the bets. 3.5, 4. This just moved down to 3.5. I think right as we started the show today. So you're probably on the Chiefs now, I assume.
So I'm looking here. So this is interesting. Action Network has some interesting numbers here. After Mahomes throws for 4, this is again this means really nothing, but it's just fun to say. Like I'm not making my opinion off this. After Mahomes throws for fewer than 200 yards, the Chiefs are 9-2 against the spread in the following game. Mahomes stats by point spread. When he is 3.5 or higher as a favorite, he's 32, 39-1 against the spread.
Yes.
Which is what you had 6
and 12 against the spread in the last 18.
Yeah. Shout out Action Network for doing a job for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez. I'm not taking the Vikings. Fuck no.
No, we're not taking the Vikings because part of the problem is Cousins stinks after a win. He's the second worst out of
he also stinks when
233 quarterbacks.
He also stinks when the game's not played at 1:00.
Well, like he might. I think you could just end the sentence that he stinks. I want to make sure you hear the stat. He's second worst of 233 quarterbacks in the last 20 years after a win. The worst quarterback is Jay Cutler. That's against the spread. So we're definitely not backing Cousins here.
No,
I do feel like this is one of these games that's going to be. It's got to be a shootout. Two teams. I mean, the Vikings can move the ball.
Yeah.
And I think the Vikings blitz a ton. Mahomes is amazing against the blitz. He's going to get the ball out quickly. I think this is a Travis Kelce smash spot. If there's any, I haven't looked if he's in the vaulted contest this week. So yeah, this is a pass, but I can't lay 3.5 with the Chiefs just based on all the trends with Mahomes.
Yeah. Fun. So, here we go. According to Pro Football Reference, when he plays in that early slot, Cousins played 91 games. He's 56-34. Great, right? Afternoon slot, 23 times, 7-16. Late slot, 30 times, 11-19.
Incredible, man. Incredible. Maybe he just needs less time to think about it or something. It's very strange. That big of a sample size. All right, that's should we move to the Sunday night game?
Yeah, we're not taking the Chiefs, right?
Yeah, no, I can't do it. Okay. Sunday night game of the week, maybe game of the season to this point. To be honest, the Cowboys are at the Niners. The Niners are 3.5 or 4-point favorites, depending where you look. What side are you on here? We have to talk about it, even if we don't take it.
Have you found it odd that this line hasn't moved at all this week for the most part?
I found it very strange. Yes.
I initially liked the Niners in this game. I think I texted you that Sunday night that I'd be okay being on the Niners in this game. I think they have a lot of advantages here, where the Cowboys defensively are really good when they get to rush the passer, right? But you rush the passer when you're ahead in games. The Niners are not going to be in a position where the Cowboys are ahead in this game, right? We sort of know that. So the pass rush should be mitigated and their ability to do that. On the flip side, the Cowboys' red zone offense has been atrocious. The Niners' red zone defense is great, which is an important kind of talking point as we head into this weekend. Like McCarthy just his brain or his play call goes haywire in the red zone. It's not a Zeke Elliott issue. But also, have you taken a look at who the Cowboys have played as far as quarterbacks so far this season?
I'm glad you brought this up. Yep.
Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Josh Dobbs, and Mac Jones. Now, it's not the Niners that played Murderers Row, right? They played Kenny Pickett, Matt Stafford, Daniel Jones, and Josh Dobbs. But they've just played much better. Like I know the Cowboys have allowed 3 points or 0 points and whatnot. They're scoring a bunch on defense. The Niners have not played a close game yet. They're wagging, man. They've scored 30 points now in 7 straight regular season games. They've covered 9 straight games at home, by the way. I'm on the Niners minus 3.5.
I am too. It feels a little bit too easy for some reason, because I stared at this all week and had the same thought where it was just like, what exactly is Dallas better at than this team at any phase? And the other thing is Dallas does not tend to do well in these exact spots where they're close underdogs. Like this is not where they usually overperform. It's when they're favorites. They have done really well in night games. I think they've covered 11 of their last 14 night games. That's the most profitable of any team in the league, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, I just think, like, how do they slow this offense down for the Niners? Like, if this turns into a shootout, the Niners have the advantage. Honestly, I think the Niners might even have a better defense. Like, I know obviously Micah Parsons is probably the best player maybe in the league, but I still feel like the Niners probably are the better unit across the board. So the hook stinks, but I don't feel like if the Niners win, this is going to be close. I feel like it's just going to be like a beatdown, and yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like the Niners aren't getting enough credit for the start that they've had, and maybe people think Dallas is one of these top teams, but I think they're a clear tier below where San Francisco is.
I just think we have a situation where, um, you know, this line, if the Sharps were on Dallas, this line would have moved already.
Yeah,
And
that's
it hasn't
right.
at all. It just hasn't.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the Giants. Like going back to that game, like it's like if anybody was back in one of those teams, like someone would have. And that's kind of weirdly how I feel about Jacksonville. Like there's a lot of these dogs this week where you're just sort of like, why isn't this line moved? Like why doesn't it feel like somebody's jumped in on and catching points with one of these teams? So yeah, it feels a little bit risky to me, but I'm happy putting it in the next conversation here because it sounds like I think we have 7 contenders at this point. Yeah,
I think we have 7 contenders. Yeah.
Oh, and we still haven't done the Monday night game. The Monday night game. Let's quickly touch on that in case there's something here. The Packers are at the Raiders. This has sort of moved around a bunch this week. It's now the Raiders laying a single point, where I'm looking at least. Who's playing quarterback in this? Do we know what Jimmy's deal is yet?
I do not know.
Practice.
It's Packers. Packers, Raiders, right? I mean, does it matter who's playing quarterback for the Raiders?
I actually think that Aiden O'Connell, is that his name? He was fun to watch. Like I thought he was pretty good. I weirdly am sort of interested in the Raiders here, but not enough to
no, not better than not better than any of these, right? That we have already.
No, definitely not. So why don't we just say let's save some time there. So I think there are 7 contenders. Is that where you are, Geoff? Maybe if you've got them in front of you.
So I have I have Jacksonville, Houston, Indy, Miami, New England, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, SF. I think that we liked
I'm out on Indy.
Okay, so out on Indy. Off. So we for sure like Pittsburgh and we like the Bengals, right? And the Patriots.
Yes, the right? Bengals.
Okay. I'm okay with throwing out Patriots, Steelers, Bengals.
Yep.
We like those,
okay,
right?
That's 3.
That's 3. I'm okay with throwing out the Dolphins minus 11.5.
Over Jacksonville?
No, over keeping probably Houston and San Francisco.
So we're dumping Jacksonville?
What do you think?
So I think we're deciding between 4 teams for 2 picks. So it's Miami laying Houston, the 11.5.
Yeah.
And Houston plus
Jacksonville,
2.
Houston, Miami, San Francisco. What do you think?
Yeah.
Which one do you like of those? You love Miami, I feel like.
It's the squarest bet of all time. It couldn't be more square. It's like it's a super public team laying a ton of points against a team that just got blown out. The Jacksonville thing is I don't know what's going on with them. Like this is the game that you would think they would rebound, but maybe that is a smart play. I just wish it was 6. If that was 6, I think I would make a harder push for that. But it's 5.5 at best everywhere. I don't know. I mean, I think Houston is a pretty smart play, but I feel like we could get burned by it. I don't know, man. What do you think?
Falcons games always drive us crazy. So let's eliminate Falcons game. Okay,
fine.
I think we both like the Niners. It's prime time. I get it. So let's put the Niners in there. Okay.
Sure.
So now we're choosing between Jacksonville against Buffalo or the Dolphins covering 11.5 at home against the Giants.
I mean, the Giants really suck, man.
Yeah, they're really bad.
What is that number? What is that 11.5?
35-21 is a good cover in this game. What are we getting 28-20? Are we getting like a late Daniel Jones? I mean, as a Dolphins offense, just not gonna Dolphins defense not gonna play well in this game. They haven't played terribly well. And maybe that's the reason why the Giants run the ball to death and less possessions on offense for Miami. the Giants don't hit the passer. Like I'm okay with Miami. Just we have some leeway to do this, by the way.
I think I am too. Honestly, like 87 degrees in Miami. They're going to be on the sideline. It's going to be hot. I mean, Jacksonville is. I don't feel like anyone's on Jacksonville this week. Like I haven't heard one like really good case for Jacksonville. Where Miami, it's just sort of like they are so much better than the Giants on in every single piece. If the Giants didn't make the playoffs last year, I feel like this would be like 14.5. But it's a lot of respect based on last year.
Yeah, I agree. Let's
do it, man.
So Miami, New England, Pittsburgh, Bengals, Niners. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk about our favorite plays for the vaulted pool this week. You can join, free to join on the vaulted app using promo code Geoff. We'll be back in a second. All right, guys, we're back to talk about the vaulted app and the vaulted pool. It's a lot of fun. I mean, we're doing it each week. Matt, I was able to win. I think producer Nick had a cash out one week. So come join us. I just went all for the 10s. I used to do this tier thing where I was picking like a pick and then putting a 5, all 10s down the road. We're going to start with here with the Ravens cover 3.5 against Pittsburgh. The answer is no. They're not covering that. So disagree, 10-point disagree. Here's a fun one. Ready? Kirk Cousins has more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes. If you agree on this, we're not friends anymore. We're just not friends. We're not friends. Just straight disagree. You're betting Cousins against Mahomes. You're absolutely insane. So I'm going to go disagree there. 10-point disagree. Here's another one, Matt, I like. Ready? Tyreek Hill will have over 89.5 yards receiving. Who's guarding him on the Giants? Who's stopping him? Strong agree.
Love that.
Fun one here. Tony Pollard will have more rushing yards than Christian McCaffrey. Hard pass on that one there. McCaffrey's on pace, by the way, for 340 rushing attempts this year, which is absolutely insane. Insane number. Last one here. We talked about the nightcap, the Monday night game here. Devontae Adams will have more than 1.5 touchdowns against the Packers. No. Who's passing him the ball? Aiden O'Connell? Jimmy G? No. The answer is no. No. Disagree. Do you have any you like before we get out of here? I do have to get to a wedding fairly quickly. There's a Friday wedding I got to go to. What do we got?
I love that. I do think all the games we talked about and had opinions on are in here. So I like that Daniel Jones having more interceptions than Tua has rushing yards. I think that's funny. I think if you're over 1.5, then probably.
Tua doesn't run the ball.
Fun one from. No, he doesn't. Yeah. He's just going to be first read gone. Tyreek's going to go crazy. Yes. Let's go Dolphins.
All right, guys. It was a great show today. As usual, we hope we continue our winning ways. Go to the Vaulted app. Download. It's free to play. Promo code Geoff with a G. We'll be back on Monday to cover everything happening in the NFL weekend. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the sports.